Hi, and welcome back to Monetizely's YouTube channel. My name is Ajit Kuman, CEO of Monetizely, author of the book Price to Scale. This series is called Backstage Pricing. In this series, in every video, I will be breaking down the hottest SaaS, AI, and Agentic firms. I'm going to be looking at the pricing page and explaining how we think about their pricing and what that tells me about the company. So let's take a look backstage. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at MidJourney's pricing page as I have it open here on the screen. MidJourney basically has two modes of operation. One is this relax mode, and then one is this fast GPU time. Now, when it comes to thinking of a pricing model, there are really three main components to the model. One on this page, as you can see, are these tiers. There are 4 tiers that MidJourney has. The second part is the pricing metric. Now, the pricing metric is the thing that is the most restrictive in use generally, right? For a CRM sort of product, it would be the number of seats. For a open AI sort of product, it would be tokens. In this case, it is fast GPU time. And then finally, it's the price point. So let's take a look at the price point. The price point varies from $10 to $120 per month. And then if you pay on an annual basis, you get a little bit of a discount. That is expected. However, if you look at the pricing metric, you basically get, if you divide 30 by 15, you get $2 per hour of fast GPU time. That's what you get. You get the same thing, $2 per hour of fast GPU time in Pro and Mega. That is non-standard. What you would expect to see in a pricing page is that you would expect to see more volume discounting happening as the plan was proceeding towards the higher tier. So that is right there something I find odd and something that disincentivizes users from actually buying the higher tier. The second thing, right at the start, even if I'm just looking at the packages and nothing else, I'm seeing that the packages are limited at $120 a month. But let's say you take a look at 11 Labs pricing. 11 Labs has a $1,100 something pricing plan. So that's 10 times the monthly price. And then they have a further enterprise tier as well. Now, MidJourney is creating images, MidJourney is creating videos. If a, let's say, Hollywood studio wanted to use them for something, this plan would just not cut it, right? They would probably want to offer more enterprise plans. And I'm not seeing that here. So they're potentially leaving a lot of money on the table. Now, be it as it may, they are already at a $500 million revenue run rate, which they have accomplished since their inception in 2021. So you may say that maybe they don't even need that business. And that is probably what they're doing. They're prioritizing the high velocity sales, and they're maybe not caring too much for the custom enterprise sales. Now, the other part is that most generative AI pricing plans are based on a 3-part tier framework. You spend $30, you get these 15 hours of fast GPU time per month, and $120, you get 60 hours, and so on. Once you finish these 60 hours, you're going to be charged at a rate that is higher than the original rate of $2 per hour of GPU time. It's double. What I'm noticing is neither do they provide volume discounts and the overage fee is always double. Not only is the overage fee double, but you have to buy, as a user, you have to buy in your console somewhere separately. It doesn't automatically go into overage. The drawback of that is the user would want their usage to continue in such a way that at some point they're incentivized to go to the Pro plan. Right now, MidJourney is probably doing themselves a disservice because the user has to enable overages, and perhaps that is all right and you want to have a better customer experience that way. But the problem is that the user then has to manually figure out how to move to the Pro plan. And then the overage doesn't really change here. So the overage is too expensive. 2x overage is something I have not seen in the past. And that disincentivizes users to even try the overage in the first place. So there's going to be a very jagged transition from the 30 to the 60 and the 60 to the 120. And it's not even user friendly, and it's not necessarily friendly in MidJourney's interest either. So for hobbyist customers, it works. For a lot of customers, maybe who are like individual IC graphic designers, maybe they're doing a job on Upwork or something, it probably works. But MidJourney is leaving money on the table by ignoring the natural growth that has to happen of a user within a plan and across plans, right? And they impose more of a cognitive load on users to do this. Now think of a cell phone plan. Cell phone plan also goes by a 3-part tariff model. As you finish your data capacity, you start to get hit overages, and then you have to keep in mind what overages you're being hit with so that you can move to the next plan if you choose so. That's the proper implementation of a 3-part tariff. They have a 3-part tariff. That is my critique, that it is a little bit improperly implemented. And even more importantly, I'm missing seeing like the enterprise plans here, and that is something I would like to have seen in the product such as MidJourney. So that was my quick Backstage Pricing take on MidJourney's pricing plan.